met a gypsy.
You can tell the way that the style's evolving. Like I feel like this year with Jett doing what he's doing, like I think everyone now is going to have to just start to look at him and go like, okay, I just can't ride like I used to. I need to try and figure that out. Or do you think that's what pros are going to try and start to do now with how dominant he's been? Or do you think that like the old way can kind of still work?
You know, with the 450, the way that Jett's riding it and everything, I mean, it's hard to do any better than that, obviously. I mean, nobody's touching him currently right now. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, everybody back healthy and everything. I mean, Jett is on it right now, though, and for the sport, I think it's really good to see kind of that new age style. He's the first guy, you know, kind of bringing that to the table, him and Hunter, which is pretty cool. I mean, there's still some other styles coming up though. Like, I mean, Deegan, I mean, he's a rever and some of those guys. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how Jett develops his style too, the more he gets used to the 450. But he is so good on that thing, and not making mistakes. Like, I think what he's got going is, you know, he looks like, you know, Ricky Johnson going around the track, where he's not, you know, using unnecessary energy, or, you know, he's hopping the bumps. It's unreal, and it's going to be interesting to see these next few years if everybody else changes their style up, or if they keep perfecting what they got going.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm interested for with the next couple of years, because I think that, so like everyone knows I'm a huge Hayden Deegan fan, but yeah, I think his second moto at High Point was probably his best moto of the year, because it looked like he was really picking his way around the track and not overriding because I think that the danger that you get when you're sending it the way that he does, and that's kind of like an American style. Like, Americans have such a unique style for motocross, and I mean, they're the only ones that really do supercross, but it's just that super aggressive, send it to the moon, intensity times 1,000. But I think nowadays with like the 450 so fast, like I think you can do that on a 250, but then I think that when you get into the 450, it's just a different kind of deal. And I think, yeah, second moto at High Point, I was looking at Danger Boy. I was like, all right, he's kind of got that mix of like the send, but also to be able to, you know, pick his way around the track. And then Southwick, it just looked like the wheels kind of came off the wagon a bit for him, because he was just charging so hard. And it's like, okay, you've now come up against a track that just does not reward that. And I mean, I saw a video today, I think it was in Tommy's video that he did from Southwick. Jett literally jumped one of the rollers into the face of the next like big roller, and then doubled all the way over it, and then doubled out. So it was like he just rhythm sectioned an entire straight at Southwick, took zero energy, barely was on the ground, smooth as hell. And it's like, to me, I'm like, oh well, that's probably the new way to do this thing. But that's so many years of development on Jett and Hunter and Darren's end, to where it's like, I just really don't know how dudes catch up to that now.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, he made Southwick look like a whole rhythm section, and it paid off. I mean, it worked for him. He said he was really tired, you know, at the end of that second moto in the interview or whatever. But I guarantee everybody else was, you know, freaking smoked, because they were just pounding that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you know, Deegan right now, he's sending it a little bit, but I definitely agree with you that he's figuring it out, and I'm excited to see where he goes the next few years too, just because his passion, like, he really wants to win, and that's cool to see. Like, he's not holding anything back, and he's not letting any pressure get to him, which you know, the sport's pretty exciting right now. Like, there's a lot of guys coming through, like, that are kind of switching it up, and I mean, there's all the Stasic generation, they're all coming up too. So it's gonna be a pretty sweet era for the sport here these next few years.
Yeah, I think it's a good point about Hayden. I mean, he almost like wills his way to the, like, he's got the red plate right now. He's halfway through his rookie outdoor season and he has the red plate. I mean, Hunter's had 2 issues, obviously, but it's like, that's how the sport goes. Like, that's how points work. If you don't, if you don't finish the motos, you don't get the points. And it's like, even if you're the best guy, and it's like, that kid has just found himself in these crazy positions. He did the same thing in Supercross. He's done the same thing in motocross. And it's like, there's just a guy that wants to win so bad, that's doing everything he can to do it. And he's putting himself in the positions. And then it's almost like the universe is rewarding him for, being in those positions. But yeah, I think that's going to be like the challenge for him going forward, is like, how can he adapt his style? Because like, Jett looked beatable on a 250, right? So that to me says that there's a way that there's like more than one way to skin a cat on a 250F. Like, you can charge, it's not going to tire you out. You can kind of overpower it to a certain degree. And there's guys that, like, Jett was doing that same sort of stuff, but the reward wasn't there in the same way as what it is on a 450. It's like, he's just doing the same thing that he did on a 250, but on a different motorcycle. And the reward for playing that game on that bike is like way more than on a 250. So it's like, but then if Deegan starts figuring that stuff out and then transitions a little bit of his gnarliness to the 450 with a combination of like the way that, that Jett does it. I mean, it's that like the thing that then leapfrogs, because that's the coolest thing about our sport, is we're just always in this progression, like McGrath was so smooth and so stylish and so calculated and like didn't use that much energy, and then Carmichael came along and like almost did the opposite, and then Bubba kind of did both of those things, so it's like we're in this constant evolution. And I think we've got like maybe one of the most exciting couple of talents since James, really.
Yeah 100%. And like you were just mentioning, James, Ricky, Reed, that was a super sick era to watch too, because, watching those 3 guys in their prime all battling it out, that's pretty rare thing to see. Like, usually you see, one guy kind of peak and dominate at a time, whereas, that era of Stuart, Carmichael, Reed, I mean, those guys were slugging it out at some of those supercrosses all the way. So it's going to be interesting to see, who steps it up this next year. I mean, there's a lot of brand switches going on in the 450 class. So I'm excited to see, who steps it up with the different program. And, there's going to be some sick battles going on.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.